Security World's Obedo Hito is at the Cile border, crossing in southeastern Turkey. Obedo, let's start off with what the latest in terms of what's happening on the ground.
This escalation has been going on for more than a month now. Just this morning, we're getting reports that there are renewed airstrikes on southern Idlib in places called Kan Safra and Hazarin and Kafar Ata and Kafar Embel. These are all places that are in southern Idlib that have been targeted over the past month. Just this morning, they're being targeted again with airstrikes and artillery strikes. This is not only an air operation, there's also a ground operation. The regime has tried to take some territory in southern Idlib and northern Hama, starting with Qalat al-Madiq and then going into Kafar Mbuda, and there has been fighting ongoing on the front lines. However, the areas that are being targeted just this morning are far from the front line and actually civilian populated areas. And this month-long escalation has forced tens of thousands of people to flee, to leave their homes and come towards the Turkish border. The escalation also specifically targeted medical facilities. Over 15 medical facilities have been taken out of service in this recent escalation, many of them completely destroyed, leaving people with nowhere to go to get critical medical treatment. And the people who are most affected up until now by this escalation are the civilians as the fighting continues on the front lines.
Beto, as we've just reported, we have some rights groups who are reporting that Assad's forces have used white phosphorus and napalm. What more can you tell us about that?
This is a tactic that the regime has used since the beginning of the war. There have been a number of attacks that have been confirmed in Syria by the UN. These weapons that were reported to have been used in Idlib overnight, this white phosphorus and napalm, these are incendiary weapons. And according to international law, the use of incendiary weapons in any location that has civilians is illegal. And it's clear from the reports that we are getting that the locations that are being targeted, including Khan Sheikhoun and Tramella, these are civilian populated areas. So the use of these weapons is condemned by international law. However, confirming who is doing this or actually holding anybody to account is going to be quite difficult. 1 week ago, the OPCW's investigation and identification team head, Santiago Onate Laborde, this is a group, a working group that was formed in June 2018 last year by the OPCW with expanded scope of powers. They actually have the power to identify responsibility. In previous OPCW investigations in Syria, there was no actual responsibility for attacks put on any particular party. However, this particular working group is allowed to put that blame on somebody who is responsible. However, the head of the group was denied a visa by the Syrian government and cannot reach these places to conduct an investigation, and we're most likely not going to get any official results from any investigation into these attacks anytime soon.
Obedo, thank you. Obedo Hito, live for us on the Turkish-Syrian border on the increased action in Idlib province and reports that the regime is using incendiary weapons in civilian areas. Thank you.